Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Maxi here once again, and I'm from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to you all for the likes of our redo Let's Play of Piglet's Big Game. I know everyone else has been waiting for this for a very long time, especially concerning about the fact that hopefully this particular Let's Play will be a lot more better than the forms of how it does it on the other 3 years. Because previously I did this game back in 2012, and also say applies for 2014 and 15. However though, when I look back on those particular Let's Plays in the past, they all look alright. Well, the first edition is pretty bad in comparison, and as far as the second attempt goes, it's decent, except with bad sound mixing, with bad commentary in here and there. So hopefully, welcome to 2023, which not only marks the 20th anniversary of the game itself, but also the 20th anniversary of the film itself. Because obviously this game is based off from Piglet's Big Movie, which is a really dang good underrated gem in my opinion. So, as you can tell, on the actual capture footage, I'm going to be playing the PlayStation 2 version this time, as opposed to the forms of the GameCube version, because I used to have the GameCube version back a long time ago, but now it's been significantly scratched, and as a result, the game is unplayable. But anyways, let's watch the opening cutscene.
It was the first day of autumn in the 100-acre wood, and everyone there was very busy spring or autumn cleaning. Or at least almost everyone was. Little Roo was otherwise occupied, playing with his ball. Now Al was busy looking for something he had misplaced.
Oh, I say, where has my memory book gone off to? I wonder why I can't remember.
Carrots, carrots, carrots! I must gather more carrots.
And Eeyore was having a particularly gloomy day. Pooh, however, was happily doing what he loves most, eating honey. Pooh Bear certainly loves honey. But honey was not on everyone's mind, especially not Tigger's.
And a couple of hoo-da-da-da-doody-doos, and hoop-a-da-ding. A Granosaurus.
A granosaur?
A Granos. Wait a second there, little piglet. Oh, that's just a big old pile of leaves, and they're very good for bouncing in. A Granosaurus, and it's right behind me. Please save me, Christopher Robin.
Don't be afraid, Piglet. There's nothing behind you.
Sure, there's nothing there.
It's just your imagination. What a frightened little piglet you are. Quite sure. You know what, Piglet? You need to face your fears.
Oh my goodness, no, I couldn't do... I mean, that would be... Face my fears, you say?
That's right. To overcome a fear, you just have to stare it down. Believe in yourself, Piglet. You have a hero inside of you, just waiting to come out.
But I'm too afraid, Christopher Robin, and I'm so very small. But heroes must be big and brave. Oh no, I'll never be a hero. Oh.
And so as Roo was falling asleep, Pooh started to drift off as well. But as everyone was so preoccupied, they hadn't noticed Piglet. Feeling that he was too small and too easily frightened to help his friends, Piglet left the 100-acre wood all alone and rather sad.
And this is how the story begins, basically, is the fact that Piglet was easily too frightened, and because of that, thanks to this unexpected appearance of Granosaurus and stuff like that, hiding in this bush, and basically he just somehow managed to able to realize that nobody believes that was true. But I will say that as soon as we get to this main menu right here, I really do like this main menu, is the fact that we actually have a choice between load game and new game with all these, like, different sides of one hand.
Ah, yes. This is where you can start your adventure at the spot where you last left it.
So yeah, that's essentially how you can load things up.
If you would like to begin a new adventure, just stop and talk to our very industrious friend, Gopher.
So yeah, if you want to start the game fresh, basically you have to talk to Gopher right here, and basically that's essentially how you can create your own file into your memory card. So as you can see, as I said before, this is the PlayStation 2 version of the game, because as I said before, I used to have the GameCube version back in a long time ago, but either way though, this is now the actual replacement version as far as I've got in my hand. So anyways, let's type in my name. I know I was expecting to include I on there, but I think I might as well do it as a bit brief and quick. So either way, yeah, now it's been saved, so let's dive right into Piglet's big game for the PlayStation 2/Nintendo GameCube, basically. I know there's also technically the Game Boy Advance version as well, but that was an entirely different game. But either way, before you start the game, as far as you do realize, it actually takes you to the options menu. Like, basically you can able to do all sorts of stuff in here. Like, for instance, you can able to actually just to interact with those frogs as one of those chaseable AI stuff. And also, there's also the credit sequence, which we're probably not going to show this to you right now. And there's also the way you can able to turn on the vibration, turn on and off. Center screen, you can able to adjust the screen, and there's also the volume, which basically if you manage to able to interact with the phones of those certain frogs, basically it turns up the volume for you. So yeah, it's pretty charming, all things considered. And especially noticeable with the forms of the way to change from stereo to mono with the forms of those recorders. So yeah, relatively speaking though, it's actually pretty chilled options menu, as you can tell. And also a game encourages you to able to do some little brief tutorial segments, like you can able to actually kick certain stuff. Well, I think I should probably explain more details about that once we get into the actual main emphasis on this game, is the fact that we have to explore through different dreams based off from Pooh and his friends. So, and as you can see, we now ended up on this proper menu right here, where basically on the left side we do actually have ourselves a View Cinematics board, which at this point in time, I don't think we actually got anything in here at the moment, which I think that could be summarized that we need to complete certain stories or certain dreams first. So either way though, we'll be back for that eventually. But there's also the one on the right, which basically, as far as I said this before, this game is obviously based off from Piglet's big movie. So basically you do have ourselves these Disney clips, and basically at the moment we do have 3 scenes, which one of them is actually based off from the likes of one of those memories and having a conversation with Al, and also Piglet finds out that his friends is missing. So either way, there's also some other 3 clips down there, but we also need to unlock that as well. Now, originally, I was expecting to try and able to show you guys certain clips, but unfortunately though, just because of the copyright reasons, so I don't feel like I can probably show you guys that. Well, at least you can now able to see the film thanks to Disney Plus, so yeah, let's go ahead and go to this little telescope thing, because that's the main focus.
Should you like to see your friends from the 100-acre wood and enter their dreams, just look through this telescope.
Which that's exactly we're about to be able to interact with this little telescope.
As Pooh slept, Piglet became the hero of Pooh Bear's dream world. As little Roo slept, Piglet became the hero of Roo's dream world.
So I believe these are the only 2 dreams we started the game off, so what about the others then?
As Al was still awake, he was not dreaming. So Piglet would have to wait to become a hero in Owl's dream world. Now, as Eeyore was still awake, he was not dreaming, and Piglet could not yet become a hero in Eeyore's dream world. As Rabbit was not yet asleep, Piglet would have to wait a short while to become a hero in Rabbit's dream world. For Piglet to become the hero of Tigger's dreams, our friend Tigger would have to fall asleep.
So yeah, as far as I've noticed is the fact that we have to start the game off as in Pooh's Dream or Roo's Dream to start with. Now, as far as you probably already noticed, we have to go from the beginning first, because as you can tell, the first dream we're going to be stumbling across into is Pooh's Dream. And as you can see, it does have a cookie counter, which I'll explain more details in a moment.
I could do with a smackerel of honey now. Just a small jar. 2 or 3.
So yeah, it looks like Pooh was so desperately want to have some honey, so we'll figure something out until whenever we dive right into the very first dream in the whole game.
If only Piglet were here, he would surely help me find some honey.
Thought Pooh, falling asleep. And that's exactly what he was going to dream about.
So yeah, welcome to Pooh's Dream, and as you can tell from the dream aesthetics and what have you, this place does remind me of something related to not only Sweet Dream from Mario Party 5, but also with the forms of Sweet Mountain as well from the likes of Sonic Colors. So as you can tell, Pooh's Dream is based off from sweets, chocolate, and all that candy stuff. So as you can tell about the fact that the main gameplay for Piglet's big game is all about the forms of, let's just say, an action-adventure exploration type of game. But there's also the way you can able to actually find certain stuff, which I'll explain that in a moment, because as you can see, we actually stumbled across a telescope, which takes you back to the actual main menu, and on top of that, there are tons of sparkles surrounding the forms of certain objects, ranging from a book of pages, which allows you to save your game, and also there's a Christopher Robin balloon that's almost like a shape like a heart, where basically though, this game does have a health meter, or the health system. So as you can tell, I think there are only about 3 health you only need to carry about. So either way though, because again, we'll explain more details as soon as we proceed to this game. Now, in order to able to find certain trinkets or what have you, or to be more specifically cookies in some cases, as you can see, we need to able to utilize the forms of a kick move for Piglet, because as you can tell, since the X button did show up, because this is essentially the first world in the game, so you pretty much expect how to deal with later tutorials and stuff like that. So yeah, in order to get cookies in this game, if you try to kick some specific objects that attempts to shake, basically those cookies, specifically 5 cookies at a time, basically certain cookies will come out, and it's your job to able to actually grab these cookies just in time before they start to able to go back into their original spots. And once you collect all of these cookies in one specific area, well, basically you're basically done hunting for those cookies, as you can tell. And this game does also have a map function, which you can able to actually see whatever areas you might stumble across into next. So relatively speaking, Pooh's Dream is by far the easiest world in the game, just because there's not much complications or anything else like that, and also this world is going to be pretty short. And there's also the item inventory system, which you can only press square, triangle, or circle, depending on what version of the game you're playing, and obviously on the GameCube version it was B, Y, and X. So either way though, that's as far as I can say about it. And also, hello Owl.
And who is this? Could it be my young friend Piglet?
Oh, hello, Owl.
What a pleasure it is to see you. Now tell me, what are you doing in Pooh's Dream? Would you perhaps be looking for a treasure?
Oh, no, Owl. I've come to see if Pooh might need my help.
Ha! Bravo, Piglet! That sounds like a wonderful idea. Pooh is just on the other side of this gate.
Okay, so now the gate has been active, so we can now able to actually pop over to the next part of the level, because relatively speaking though, hopefully we're able to try to find some more cookies, because collecting cookies is important, by the way, if you really want to beat the game, because relatively speaking though, if you don't collect enough cookies on the other hand, well, you'll soon to find out as soon as we're able to proceed for this particular dream, because as far as I'm aware, for this particular playthrough, I'm actually going to be trying my best to able to aim for 100% completion, meaning about the fact that in order to able to complete the whole game, basically we do need to get every single cookies throughout the whole entire game, so there might be plenty of them. Well, mind you about the fact, you notice with that particular cookie counter, as I already mentioned about this earlier, Well, basically, in this particular world's case, there are, I would say, 150 cookies to find. So, but as far as the later dreams are concerned, it will increase the counter by quite a bit. So either way, though, that might be saying something. So, and I think the last few cookies are in this particular spot, and hopefully we'll obtain more as soon as we're able to continue proceeding for these next few sections. And now we've created a bridge, which allows us to able to continue things on here. Yeah, I noticed right from the start, though, there are quite a few frame rate drops here and there on the PS2 version, because I couldn't recall on the GameCube version, doesn't seem to able to have that much frame rate issues, but I'm sure I'll try to get used to it. And also, the loading screens might take a bit forever to able to load things up at times, but again, I'm sure I'll try to get used to this kind of stuff, so either way though, we'll pretty much have to guarantee by that. And something tells me if I go after that last cookie over there, it will trigger that cutscene.
Oh, do be careful, Piglet. This caramel is quite sticky, and I seem to have found myself rather stuck in it. And it would be so bothersome if we both got stuck, don't you think?
Oh, but Pooh, how did you get stuck in the caramel?
Well, you see, I was searching for some honey, and Rabbit thought this might be a good place to search. Well, at least I think that's what he told me. But now that I think about it some more, I could be mistaken.
Hold on, Pooh. I'll get you out.
That would be very nice. Thank you, Piglet. I suppose a stick might be useful.
Now, before we do that, Pooh, I need to go ahead and grab this last cookie, because despite the fact that I accidentally triggered a cutscene from earlier. So, there we go, we've got every single cookies in this particular area. Now the next thing we need to do is to pick up this particular lollipop stick.
Piglet thought
And that can be used as our inventory items. So as a result, all we have to do is basically go to Pooh Bear and press the square button, as far as I can definitely tell, and that will sort things out.
Hang on, Pooh. I'll do my best to unstick you.
Oh, thank you, Piglet. You see, I've discovered that caramel is quite good for eating, but not so good for, standing in. Now let's find Rabbit. I'm sure he knows where to find some honey. Come along now, Piglet. Follow me.
Okay, so I believe right now we do need to head back into the previous area as we've already been into. But relatively speaking, there's going to be quite a few emphasis on backtracking aspect in this entire game. But again, I'm sure I'm getting used to it though. Especially noticeable, I played this game countless amount of times on the GameCube version most likely. So either way though, I know exactly what I'm about to do here. Especially noticeable until later on though, that things get a bit, well, interesting.
And so it was that Piglet decided to follow his friend Winnie the Pooh in the hopes of helping him find some honey.
Oh, bother. Piglet, there seems to be some cotton candy blocking the door. However shall we get through? Think. I do believe I've seen this cake before. And if this cake is here, then Rabbit must be over there.
Will he be able to help us find the honey?
Oh yes, Rabbit always has a smackerel or two of honey. Now how shall we get through this cotton candy? Think. I suppose we could eat it.
Oh no, Pooh. There's much too much to eat.
Yes, of course you're right, Piglet. But however shall we get to the other side then?
So apparently, before we go into the actual rabbit's house apparently, in this dream specifically, that as you can tell, there's a massive ball of cotton candies blocking the entrance. So what we were supposed to do is that we need to talk to Owl again, but this time around though, he'll give you a different advice, because yeah, you have to do this a lot throughout the whole game.
Well, Well, if it isn't my dear friend Piglet, and I do believe you're looking for a way to get rid of some cotton candy. Let's see. The weight multiplied by the mass squared divided by the height of the cotton candy minus the... Aha! A bit of water could be the solution. And where better to find water than in a bottle.
Oh, you mean with that particular bottle where it has like water on it so I can spray on it? Awesome! I wonder if I can possibly able to reach it. Or maybe not, because he's too small to able to reach it. So, now we've actually demonstrated that, let's go ahead and talk to Pooh Bear, and he'll sort this out.
Pooh Bear, could you help me?
Of course, Piglet.
Could you press the handle of the bottle? I'm a bit too small to reach it, you see.
Oh, a bottle with handles. I wonder why that is. Now, let's see. Oh, that did it. And now, perhaps we can find Rabbit and some honey for my tummy.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Pooh. I'll go find Rabbit and ask him if he knows where some honey is.
Piglet, perhaps you should go and find Rabbit, and I shall return to where I was before I was here. Oh, and also, Piglet, you know there may be lumps in there. I suppose perhaps you should be rather careful.
Lumps.
By the way, every time when you get to more continued progressioning in certain dreams, basically since I've still got my PlayStation 2 memory card hooked up, the game somehow autosaves, so that'll be pretty good for you, especially noticeable you can actually able to continue where you left off, even for autosaving, so anyway.
Huh?
And this is where we get ourselves the introduction to one of the main emphasis on this game, and that's what appears to be the combat mode. So basically, we stumbled across the first ever lump in the entire game so far. So basically, as soon as you're able to press the X button or the A button, depending on the forms of the GameCube or PS2 versions, basically though you're able to actually deal with a quick time event or something related to that. So basically, as soon as you're able to defeat the lump while you're able to obtain a potion apparently, which basically that allows you to able to continue proceeding for certain sections of the dream. So relatively speaking though, you have to do this a lot if you really want to continue your progression in the game, because there are quite a few times that certain doors have been locked off due to the forms of you have to deal with not only lumps, but eventually some woozles as well, which I'm sure that most people already know this already. So, and also there are quite a few references in this particular room, like this familiar picture right there. I think that was appeared on, I would say, the end credits scene on the likes of Piglet's Big Movie or something. Well, it's been a very long time since I actually last watched Piglet's Big Movie. I definitely need to get back into that, especially noticeable, as I said before, that film is now on Disney Plus right now, so relatively speaking though, hopefully I'll get around to able to, well, rewatch that underrated gem in my opinion. So, I know some people might not like it as much as I do, but personally speaking though, because of my nostalgia memories, so... usually relatively speaking though, because I usually watch that a lot on my VHS, VCR recorder, so either way though, that might be saying something, so... Anyways, let's head over to this next room that we do need to able to hit into, because not only do we need to able to find some even more cookies in this room, but also potentially we're able to grab another inventory item that we can able to use, so we can able to continue our progressioning. Oh, and by the way, something's worth mentioning, you know with that lollipop stick that we've already used? Well, that particular item will be gone for good, because obviously that we technically use that to able to solve any problems. So either way though, unlike any forms of how it does it on certain Zelda games, basically, they kept the actual item for good, and then you can essentially reuse that item at any point. Whilst in here, though, if you use that inventory once, then basically it'll be gone for good. So, anyway, so something tells me there are some more cookies into that orange present that we somehow kicked. And, well, there we go. We're basically done here. And I think, relatively speaking, that we've seemed to able to almost done with this entire dream so far. Because again, as I said before, this dream is not only is one of the easiest of the bunch, but also is one of the shortest as well.
Piglet
Just
has
because
found
about
the
the fact
candle.
that it's more likely like a tutorial at first. So, anyway, so now we've got ourselves a candle. So what we can do with the candle is that you notice there was actually a door that has been blocked off by a chocolate bar. Well, that's what the candle comes in. So let's just go ahead and melt the chocolate for good. And now allows us to proceed. So this means we no longer have our candle with us. So, oh well, no big deal, because there are quite a few times that we will come across into the exactly the same item inventory items until later. Also, there's Rabbit.
Oh, hello, Rabbit.
Oh, hello, Piglet. I'm afraid I haven't much time to chat. I'm very busy, you see.
I was just hoping to find some honey.
Everyone's always in search of honey. First, Pooh eats all the honey in my cupboard, and now you. Anyway, I'm fresh out.
Where then do you think I might find some more? If it's not too much trouble, that is.
More honey? Well, there is some next to the beehive. Oh, but it's quite dangerous, Piglet. The bees won't let you near their honey unless you find some way to get them away from their beehive.
Oh, and also I forgot to mention to you guys something, is that, well, today's day is of course the 1st of March today, in this case in 2023 today. Naturally speaking though about the fact that, I was originally able to try to discuss upon something, but I think I should probably save that up and during at some point in, this coming Friday, because of not only for Metroid Prime Remastered that's going to be on its way onto the Nintendo Switch physical version, which I've already pre-ordered that game during the informs of about a month ago almost. That's basically though I don't have to worry about the informs of that particular game is going to sell out tremendously on the physical form. I know it's already been sold out in America, but either way though, because it will be something more related to like, I don't know about you, because it does kind of reminds me like a Super Mario 3D All-Stars Deja Vu all over again. So, I can at least able to actually just try to able to mention about that specific stuff, you know? And I think we've only got about 20 cookies left until we've basically done with this dream when it comes to collecting cookies and such. Now, as far as I'm aware, there is actually that specific little curtains thing right here, and basically this allows you to able to get one of those brave faces that you can able to actually purchase by simply utilizing cookies, because as far as I'm aware, cookies are actually act out as currency. So basically, as you can tell, we spent about, let's say 50 cookies on this first brave face right here. And it shows the demonstration right there. So yeah, with that brave face that we've already saw, basically you're now able to actually get yourselves another brave face, which not only does it able to actually give us a huge advantage when it comes to taking out not only Heffalumps but also Woozles essentially, but also you do able to have yourselves an additional button for your commands, so... And there's that lot of honey right here, despite the fact that the bees are once again guarding it, so we need to figure this out. But first off, let me go ahead and take care of this Woozle over there, and by doing so is about the fact that we're now able to actually have 3 button commands. So, because when you first start the actual combat system, you start the thing off as in only 2 buttons, and basically that Piglet, that all he does in 2 buttons, basically he just sticks the tongue out at the actual Heffalump, and that's pretty much about it. Pretty simple and basic brave face, but then the more you're able to actually unlock more brave faces, the more expressive that Piglet can be. Because I will say, Piglet is by far the most expressive character in terms of the forms of this entire game. I know it's a bit difficult to explain, because it's been a very long time since I actually last played this, but either way though, I think something tells me there are some more cookies into this massive cupcake, so I think we are essentially almost done here, and I believe the last 5 cookies are going to be onto this particular shelving right here. Quite simply just trying to kick to it, and that basically does it, so yeah, it's that simple. However, there's also another collectible you can able to probably try to get, but I think I should probably save that until whenever we continue proceeding for this game. So, yeah, we've somehow actually access to other areas of the game right now. And also, as you can see, there are some character icons between both Pooh and Rabbit. They are basically both located in their separate areas. So, anyway, so what we're supposed to do here is that we need to shove this crate filled to the brim with, like, I'm not exactly sure what this pink stuff is for. And basically, I forgot to mention about it, is that you have to drag this crate over to that yellow striped target, and that is essentially how the fact that you can able to solve this puzzle. Because sometimes this game also has a lot of emphasis on puzzles as well, meaning about the fact that you have to solve them before you progress. You know, think of like solving certain puzzles like a Zelda game or something like that. But anyway, enough about that, so let's go ahead and talk to Rabbit again.
Oh, well done, Piglet. Oh, you're braver than I thought. And now that the bees are away, I shall be able to replenish my honey supply. And you'll need a honey pot too, won't you? Well, here's the key that unlocks a cupboard in my kitchen. There you'll find a pot ready to be filled with honey.
Thank you, Rabbit.
So from here we
Just
got ourselves the
given Piglet
first
a
key of all things, and basically what we're supposed to do is that I'm pretty sure we need to head back into that particular room that's filled to the brim with a lot of birthday stuff. But on the other hand, there are some heffalumps ambushed, so as a result, yeah, there's only one of them at the moment, but until eventually in the later dreams to come, basically though, they're also able to bring more heffalumps or wurzels for that matter, so yeah, you have to able to clear out most of those heffalumps and wurzels before you do more anything else, because otherwise, if you dare ever go near to them, that's what the health system comes into play in this game. That basically though, I think you only get frightened for about 3 times that you will, realistically, able to actually go all the way back to the start of the actual dream. Well, nothing to do with the lack of progression or anything, luckily, but relatively speaking, no. Oh, there's a wurzel over there that we'll take care of first. So yeah, some people seem to say that this is by far the most scariest game of the bunch, which I'm not exactly sure why that is though. I'm guessing it's probably because of the heffalumps and wurzels in general.
Oh, wonderful, a honey pot. And now all I need to do is fill it with honey.
Alright, so now we've got ourselves the empty honey pot, while at the same time got auto-saving into my memory card. So now we need to backtrack all the way to that honey fountain, and hopefully we'll try to fill up the honey into the actual honey pot. And afterwards though, well, suffice to say, we'll deliver the honey pot for Pooh. So that would be about it for the sake of the forms of this particular dream. So I suppose I should probably also mention is about the fact that between the console version of the game compared to the handheld counterpart on the Game Boy Advance, it plays kind of similar to each other, except the fact that on the Game Boy Advance version plays out more likely a top-down perspective, whilst compared to the forms of the console version, basically you can just see everything, so that's something to keep in mind. So, anyways, let's head into the actual honey fountain and fill up the actual empty honey pots, like so.
Oh, I think Pooh will be very happy.
And so,
It's a bit of a
at
weird
last,
system whenever you
Piglet
do manage
filled
to able
his
to
honey.
bring items into your item inventory. Now, you noted about the fact that we did have the empty honey pot on the triangle button, but then for some reason when you do fill up the honey into the honey pot, basically it's now moved to the square button. So yeah, it seems kind of strange if you ask me, especially noticeable about the fact that sometimes the item inventory placements can be a bit weird at times, but I'm sure I'll still get used to it though, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, it doesn't really matter what specific preference that will go for, but either way, we'll take care of this Wurzel here before we're able to continue going back. So it seems kind of weird that the actual camera just somehow zoomed out or something like that. So anyway, so I think for the most part we're basically done for the majority of the dream so far. Well, aside from the fact that there's technically another thing we can possibly do, but that wasn't until whatever we get to later on though, because obviously we'll save that particular point once we go through 6 main dreams after all, because obviously we'll go for, you know, the chronological order as far as dreams are concerned. But hey, speaking of dreams though, that the actual dreaming department is actually kind of reminds me of the forms of going through dream boards in Mario Party 5, because relatively speaking, between Piglet's Big Game and Mario Party 5, both they managed to came out in exactly the same year, so something worth classified for noticing this from the start. But also I just realized is the fact that Pooh's dream, as far as, you know, the environment goes, it does kind of reminds me like I was experiencing the world based off from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Well, I definitely heard about the film though. Well, relatively speaking though, I've seen bits of it on the original, and then compared to the 2005 remake called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, it was just, meh. Especially noticeable, nothing even compared to the films of Tom and Jerry and the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and let me tell you, it is a horrible disaster. Well, at least as far as I'm concerned. Because not only because that movie is filled to the brim with a lot of creepy faces all the time, but also it's just all over the place. And even not to mention though about the fact that, well, you guys should already know. Anyways, let's deliver the honey pot to Pooh Bear.
Oh, look, Pooh, it's just for you.
Oh, yum. Honey. There was nothing yummier than honey. Thank you, Piglet. You are a very good friend indeed.
Oh, you're welcome, Pooh.
Yummy.
And so, despite the heffalumps and despite the woozles, the very brave Piglet managed to bring some honey back to his dear friend Pooh.
Oh, thank you, Piglet. This is the tastiest, the most delicious, oh no, the yummiest honey I have ever eaten.
And with that basically does it for the first dream in Piglet's Big Game. Very short, and it's also very easy and simple at the same time, so we got the endings off here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Piglet's Big Game. It's the fact that we're going to be moving on to the next dream, which appears to be Rouge Dream. So, yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. Later, fellas.